Hey, I'm Gabby, also known as Señorita Gabita, and welcome back to a new video. This time I will show you how I paint these cute little birds. The last video I was sketching them and talking about my small business that I started recently, and this time is the coloration part of the sketches and also my review about the Arrtx Simptap Acrylic Markers. I got them from Arrtx. They messaged me if I want to try them out and make a little review. And so this video is not sponsored by them, only I got the art supplies from them. I also got from them the acrylic metallic marker set that I also tried out. I already did like an unboxing video on Instagram and how you have to activate the ink. It's very easily. You only need to shake the pens very well, and then on top you have something like a button. So you press the button like 4 to 5 times, and with this you will activate the ink to go through the nib. It's very easily this way. I don't know if you had already painted with some acrylic markers from other brands, but in general, when you have acrylic markers, you have to shake them, of course, and then you have to press the nib of the pens on the paper a few times, and this way sometimes the nib will deformed or worn out, and also the paper gets damaged. So this way of the Simptap is very convenient and easy to use without damaging the nib or the paper. So I really like this type of mechanic. And as I said, I also got the metallic markers, and I will show you how I use them very quickly. The metallic marker set from Arrtx has 12 colors, and because of the shiny metallic effect, I thought to draw something fantasy themed. So I started to draw some flowers, stars, a lot of sparkle, and also a little elf. I gave the elf something like a poncho made out of flower petals. I thought it was very cute to draw something like that, and I was very surprised how juicy the pens were. And with this metallic markers, you don't need to shake them or press anything. You can start drawing with them, and I had a very great time. It was very quickly done, the sketch or the illustration, and you can see how shiny the colors are. I think it's not for every illustration that you want to make. It depends on the theme, maybe for Christmas. So it depends how you like them, or if you like in general metallic colors, but they are very good for drawing something for Christmas, for example, or maybe something mystical, magical like I did. So the Simptap acrylic marker set have 24 saturated colors, and maybe you saw already in the background my iPad. There I had open Pinterest with my reference pictures, because as I got the collaboration with Arrtx and after receiving the marker set, I wanted to use each pen of it, so I needed something very colorful. So I looked up in Pinterest, and then I ended up picking 5 birds that I really like. They are very cute, fluffy, and of course colorful. So I started to paint them. The first one I used a more muted color scheme, because in the marker set there are a variety of brown colors. So I picked up the brown colors, and also black for some parts of the birds, like the wings, the feet, and the head. But I wanted to make it more eye-catching, so I decided to use a colorful background, and for the first bird I used the color red, so I think it makes a very nice contrast. With the second bird I had a little bit of a difficult time, because my reference picture was more in the light pastel color scheme, and in the Simptap marker set you don't have any pastel colors, so I couldn't stick to my reference picture and had to rethink my color concept. I picked up for it magenta and orange, but soon I realized that the two colors were too much for my taste. So I picked up for the other parts, for the head and the wings, a light brown to create a more balanced look, and I think it turned out very good. And maybe this bird is one of my favorite ones that I drew here on my sketchbook spread. I had a very good time drawing with the pens, and I was so surprised how soft and flexible the brush nib is. So you can draw very precisely and create very fine lines, but of course if you add a little bit more pressure you can play with the variation of the thickness. And this is a very fun and playful way to create illustration, to make art, and it's very a fun time trying this brush nibs out and to look what type of lines you can create. So I used this technique mostly for the wings, where I picked up the black pen, and also you can see in the beak how fine you can draw lines. And I use also for some parts colored pencil, because I wanted to make a more soft look and deepen up some colors like with the blue, and also I wanted to add on the brown areas a little bit of a orangey shine. And there was also a second surprise, because I was able to add on top of the paint markers the colored pencil, and I really like to paint with colored pencil, not only with paint markers but also with alcohol markers. But with other brands I couldn't achieve a very smooth layer of colored pencil, so I was very surprised that it worked out very well with the Simptap markers. So we are returning to the painting process after watching Bamba scream for food. He was very hungry and annoyed, and it was the first time that I managed to record it. I don't know, but always when I hear him scream and I want to record it, he stops immediately. And so this was the first time that I could record it, and I found it so cute and I wanted to show it to you as well. So but back to the painting. It's actually the next day, because as I said in my first video, I hate the winter in Germany. You don't have enough sunlight, and so I had again to wait until the next day. And then I started to paint the third one, and I picked for it a blue color scheme. And I think I said already that you can blend the acrylic markers together, but you have to keep in mind that this is only possible if the paints are still a little bit wet. And I think it also depends on the surface of your paper. My sketchbook have very smooth pages, so I think that's one of the factors to achieve a very good blending without any problems, and also to achieve a very smooth surface as well. For me, this drawing process was very joyful. It was like painting with gouache, I think, something like that, because the acrylic markers have a very strong coverage, but you are also able to paint in multiple layers. So you can blend them very easy, paint in multiple layers to create a huge color range. For example, on some parts of the wings, I painted on top with a dark blue color, but I only use, I think, one layer with the dark blue, and in other parts I used more layers to create a more deeper shadow. So you can create with this technique, with applying multiple layers, a good value situation, so you can create a very good shadows as well. And then I was refining the shape of this bird with some black lines as well, and adding some details, and also a little bit of purple because I wanted to use each pen, and I really liked this combination. And I ended this third one with a yellow background. So for the next bird I used the colors orange, brown and blue, but I wasn't very satisfied with this color choice because I think I was repeating it. The bird before had already a lot of blue and brown, and that's why I decided to add later with colored pencil, like underpainting. I picked for it a brown pencil with a red undertone and painted it on top of some parts like the wings, because later I added on top of it the red acrylic paint. So I think with the red it looks more vibrant and more vividly, I think. It's not like the reference picture, but sometimes you have to go away from it, and this is one of the satisfying process, I think, if you have some inspiration and you can achieve with it a different look. And I think it was the right decision to add the red color as well. And then with black I was defining some shapes and adding some details. I really started to like adding with the black some lines as well. Usually I don't like to start my paintings with the line art, or to make the line art with the black ink. I usually use something more like a blue pencil or a brown one. I never use the black one because I think it looks too harsh, but in this sketchbook spread I started to like it. So we are coming to the last one. I picked up this tiny baby bird. It was so cute, sitting there on the ground, and it looked a little bit grumpy, so I had to pick it. And this is my favorite one. I use for it the green colors that are in the set. I use for the base color this light lime green, and then for making a nice contrast I picked up this more darker green, placing them where I think I needed some more value. And then I also picked up the black color for the chest area and adding some dots, and I picked up for the background for this one the purple color. So we are coming soon to an end. I can totally recommend you the Simptap Acrylic Marker set. Maybe you want to start after watching this video to paint with acrylic markers, so I think this set will be a very good base for the beginning. You will get 24 saturated colors, so you have a good range for starting. And I was very surprised how soft the brush nib is from this set, and I had a very great time creating different type of lines and painting with multiple layers. The only thing that I would say what was missing from me, but this is a personal preference, I would like to have more pastel colors, but maybe the next set will be in pastel colors. This will be the only thing that I would say, but this is only a personal thing because I really love to paint more in a pastel color scheme because I want to create a more soft and dreamy look. But besides that, I think it is a very good set for the start of painting with acrylic markers. And I hope you liked this video. I hope it was interesting to see in more detailed how I paint with acrylic markers. This is the same way how I paint with other brands, with other acrylic markers. And yes, if you like this type of video, don't forget to push the thumb up. Don't forget to subscribe and also to activate the bell so you don't miss any new videos from me. I also have Patreon if you want to connect with me more. You can join there my art community. I share with you more insights in my art process or video creation, and I also include you there as well. I'm always looking for your opinion how I can create my videos, or maybe you have some ideas that you want to see next. So if you want to, feel free to check out my Patreon and join, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.